Hello, my name is Doug Bishop and I am a student at Liberty University. I am coming to you today from Central Illinois to discuss the Christian worldview and history. As a historian, we have to be truthful, objective, and moral in our interpretations of historical events. We owe this much to our children and grandchildren. We as a society do not want the history of man to become like the famous children's game, the telephone game. We want our history to be accurate. So although I am biased in how I interpret history through my own personal Christian worldview, I must always be truthful, objective, and moral with my storytelling. And no matter which lens you are viewing the world's history through, you must also do the same. Changing history or adding your own spin on certain events through history that better suits your personal biases is not representing the history of God. It's representing what you want it to be. So, a Christian worldview, what exactly is that? Well, while reviewing the presentation this week, Christian Worldview and History by Dr. Samuel Smith, the doctor begins by explaining what the Christian worldview is not. And I will follow his lead here, as I found that very helpful in gaining a better overall understanding of what the Christian worldview is. So the Christian worldview, it is not the spiritualization of historical events or having the approach of divine providence. So what does that mean? It means when reviewing events, do not interject the scriptures into everything. Don't try and determine what God is thinking or what God's intent was or why is God doing this. Because we as man are not God and we don't know what God's meaning is for any of the historical events that went on. So what does this mean? And what is then the Christian worldview? Well, as Professor Dr. Smith mentioned in his presentation, the reformer John Calvin said Christians should view the world through the lens of Scripture. What Calvin is saying here is that we who share the Christian worldview should view all of history through God's perspective. Considering God is over all of history, it only makes sense we should view history keeping God's viewpoint at the forefront. Keep in mind, when viewing through the Christian worldview, that man is made of God's image and can reason and think, so be creative while you're being objective and truthful in your interpretation of history. And in closing, history was real, and the events truly did happen. People actually lived those lives. So when you are reviewing the events from the past, use your imagination and imagine yourself in that place and time. Bring it to life, and you'll have more enjoyment out of it. Until next time, have a good day.